Struggling to get your EIN confirmation from the IRS? Trust me, you are definitely not alone in this. Dealing with IRS bureaucracy just to verify your business identity can feel like a massive, time-consuming headache. So, welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to cut right through all that red tape.
Look, I get it. You've got everything ready to go, right? Your business plan is set, you're ready to hire your team, but a single missing confirmation letter is completely stalling your bank loans, freezing your payroll setup, and just blocking those vendor contracts. It is incredibly frustrating when your entire business is on pause over literally one sheet of paper. But don't worry, because this explainer holds the exact solution to get you unstuck and back to business. Okay, let's dive right into this. We've got a step-by-step roadmap to recover your documentation today. We'll be covering what is an EIN, requirements and preparation, the application process, understanding the confirmation letter, troubleshooting IRS delays, and finally, some actionable insights and tips.
Let's jump into Section 1. What is an EIN? The basics. So, an EIN, or an Employer Identification Number, is a unique 9-digit number assigned by the IRS to identify a business entity for tax purposes. You can think of it essentially as a Social Security number, but for your business. It acts as your company's permanent financial fingerprint. It's formatted with 2 digits, a dash, and then 7 more digits. And once it's assigned, it stays with your business forever.
So, why is this so absolutely crucial for daily operations? Well, without proof of this number, your business is effectively blocked from critical transactions. You need an EIN for hiring employees and setting up payroll, opening a business bank account, applying for state or local licenses, filing your tax returns, and even securing vendor and partner contracts. Banks and partners rely completely on this 9-digit code to verify that you're a legitimate entity registered with the federal government. No EIN, no business. It's really that simple.
Moving right along to Section 2, Requirements and Preparation Before You Call.
Now, preparation is everything here. Before you even think about picking up the phone to call the IRS, you need to gather some specific information. You need your exact legal business name, the EIN itself if you know it, or the responsible party's Social Security number, or ITIN, the mailing address currently on IRS record, your entity type like LLC or Corp, and the approximate formation date. And listen, I literally cannot emphasize this enough. You have to be exact. Providing incorrect information, even a minor discrepancy like saying Inc. instead of Incorporated, will cause the IRS agent to reject your verification attempt right on the spot. They compare what you say directly to what is on their screen, so you've got to match it perfectly.
Oh, and a quick note on this. If you're using a third party to make this call, like maybe an accountant or an HR service, you absolutely must file Form 2848, which is a power of attorney. The IRS protects this data fiercely. They treat it with the exact same strict security as a personal Social Security number, so unauthorized callers simply won't get anywhere without those proper forms filed in advance.
All right, Section 3, the Application Process, How EINs are Issued. To understand why these confirmation letters get lost in the first place, we kind of need to look at how businesses get them originally. There are 3 standard ways to apply. You can apply online, which gives you immediate processing. You can apply via fax, taking about 4 business days, or you can apply via mail, which takes roughly 4 to 6 weeks. Now, online is obviously the fastest route, but keep in mind the IRS actually limits online applications to just 1 per responsible party per day, just to prevent system overload. And the application method you use really depends entirely on where you're located. Domestic entities can use the online portal seamlessly, but international applicants, they actually can't use the online tool at all. Instead, they have to call a specific, non-toll-free number at 267-941-1099 to get their EIN assigned.
Which brings us to Section 4, Understanding the Confirmation Letter, CP 575 versus 147C.
Okay. Now we get to the actual paperwork. And honestly, understanding the IRS's internal naming system is half the battle here. You're going to hear 2 specific terms thrown around, the CP 575 notice and the letter 147C. So, the CP 575 is your original confirmation notice. The IRS's automated system generates this exactly once at the very moment your EIN is assigned. If you lose it, it's just gone. They physically cannot regenerate it. And that is exactly where the 147C comes in. The letter 147C is the official replacement verification letter that you can request anytime. And the best part? It serves the exact same legal purpose for banks and vendors. It perfectly verifies your EIN. So here is the crucial point, and it's a massive pitfall that delays so many startups. We call it the 30-day lockout. If you apply online and fail to download your CP575 immediately, like maybe your browser crashes or you just accidentally click away, you cannot go back and print it. And worse, you actually cannot request a replacement 147C letter for 30 days. Literally a full month where your business operations could be completely frozen. So you really have to be careful with that initial download.
Let's move on to Section 5, Troubleshooting IRS Delays. If you're following this explainer, you probably need this letter right now. So, grab a pen and write down this specific number, 1-800-829-4933. This is the IRS Business and Specialty Tax Line. This is the only number you need to call to request your replacement 147C letter.
Now, when you call that number, you're going to hit a classic automated phone tree, but here's exactly how to navigate it to save yourself some serious time. First, obviously, dial the number. Then, press 1 for English. Next, you'll press 1 for employer identification numbers. And finally, press 3 for existing EIN inquiries. And remember, be totally prepared to answer those specific security questions we talked about back in Section 2.
All right, so once you actually get a real human agent on the line and you pass the security check, you have to choose a delivery method. And the delivery method you choose is honestly a high-stakes decision. If you go with standard mail, you're looking at a 4 to 6 week delay. If a bank is waiting on you to open an account, that deal could completely fall through. So always set up a digital fax number before you call and ask the agent for fax delivery. I know, it's 2024. Who uses faxes? Well, the IRS does, and choosing fax can often get you that letter the exact same day.
And finally, Section 6, Actionable Insights and Tips, Pro Strategies.
Let's wrap up with some really good insider advice from tax professionals to completely expedite this bureaucratic process. You know, wait times at the IRS swing wildly depending on the season. According to tax pros, calling early in the day and midweek is generally your absolute best window to avoid agonizing hold times. Monday mornings and Friday afternoons are typically the busiest, for sure, so definitely plan your call strategically.
Now here is exactly what you should and shouldn't say to the agent. Pro tip number 1, and this is a big one, explicitly ask for a 147C letter. If you ask them to quote-unquote resend the CP575, you are guaranteeing failure because like we said earlier, they physically can't do it. You have to ask for the 147C specifically. Also, make sure you have that digital fax number ready to go. You should also file Form 8822B in advance if your address has changed since you originally applied. And lastly, have your original Form SS4 handy so you can match their records absolutely perfectly during those security questions.
Just as a quick reminder, this explainer is for informational purposes only. Tax regulations and IRS procedures can change, so please always consult a qualified tax professional for tailored advice. Now, I want to leave you with a final thought. Once you conquer this bureaucratic hurdle and you finally hold that verified EIN in your hands, what is the very first massive growth move you're going to make for your business? Really think about it. If you found this step-by-step explainer helpful today, please hit that subscribe button for more actionable business insights. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.